Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this is where ideas start, is in Roblox Studio. And today we are working on a boat. And I just want to try and get it, maybe do some fishing with it. So, I have a boat already that works, and I just took the code from that and I put it in this one here. And as you can see, it's it's all right. Oh, is it because that's just swinging around now? Yeah, what's going on with this thing here? It can swing, but it's supposed to sit at 0. Restitution 0. So when you come into the game, restitution is 0. But it was sitting at like 15 degrees. So then when you get in the boat, yeah, you see, restitution changes. Come on, game. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Doesn't turn very well. I'm going to have to crank that up a little bit here. So maybe what I should do, this has to be locked, right? So this here, in this case, needs to have a weld to here. We need to name that lock. This needs to be swing part. And it's got the hinge in it, the lock in it. Which rope? Should have this one here as well. It's gonna be main rope. And then this one here is just the lock rope. Alright, so that only matters for the code. So we got the 2 buttons there. One button is we need an unlock button as well. So we can move this. So I wasn't too sure if I wanted to do this with buttons, or if I wanted to do this with an interface. So for now we're going to try with some buttons. When you go into first person mode on the boat, everything disappears. So yeah, everything disappears. I don't mind it swinging around like that. That's okay. It's just, it's having issues. So the block has to weigh something in order to sink into the water, and I think that's the issue that it's having. The weight is thrashing around on the boat, right? So I have it connected with a rope, but I suppose we could have it connected with a weld instead. That could be... So this is just meant to be like a little... I want to do like crabbing, I guess. I could put a net on here. We could try and drag out a net, and you can just go around in circles and try and catch fish. I was thinking about that as well. But I don't have the... This needs to be like 1, maybe. I'm still calibrating the boat. I don't quite understand it yet, so I thought maybe this would be the easiest way. As you can see, I need to balance the weight on it. Something's out of balance here. I don't know what that is. So either or this has to be bigger. Let's see, it's slumping to the one side. Maybe I need to move this weight over. Oh no, that's the counterweight for this. I wonder if it's these buttons. No, that's massless. Well, what if we do that? Oh yeah, you see, it kind of fixed it a little bit. So then we can take this part of it. We can make that. So I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, it's something in the boat. That's why it's thrashing around like it is. So I've never explored boats. It's the first time kind of playing around with it. So, oh yeah, that's a bit better. And then I just need to crank up the top speed. So we just need to fix that, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. The shape of the boat. It almost looked like there was something trying to squeeze out. That's how it sits there. It sits like that. So I do have a weight on the front. Where is it here? This here. Maybe I need to take this one here and do that, and that will counter the back. Alright, and then if I get rid of this, let's see, we rotate this, just duplicate it there. If we can do something like that here in the front. Almost a bit too much. So we can take that and make that massless. There we go. So when you're in the seat, it's all right. And that's why I was thinking maybe making an interface for might be better. That way you're always in the seat. But then I thought, you know, players are going to get out. They're going to want to walk around the boat. So if I can try and eliminate the crashing. Oh, that's collidable. The crashing and the thrashing. That would be a best case scenario. Hold on. There we go. This one should be the same, right? Whoops. Alright, and that is collidable there. Okay, so I mean there's some hidden parts, but this weight shouldn't be collidable. And any of these other little blocks shouldn't be. The hull should be collidable. Oh, I see, that is collidable. So let's do that. And that one there is not collidable. See, I just had to add some extra little parts to it. Just weights. because anything that's collidable is going to want to sit on top of the water. So then you have to add weight to it so it sits kind of okay in the water. Oh, there we go. Whoa. So that's the importance of sitting in the seat. You got to be sitting in the seat. It sure doesn't want to turn. Let's see if we can fix this here. Crank this up maybe to 5. I don't know if this is what needs to change. If it's that needs to change. If it's this here, somewhere in here that needs to change. Drive seat torque. Oh yeah, turn speed maybe. Crank that up to 400. There we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Now it just needs to be faster speed. More power. Let's crank that up to 800 torque. Boom. Yeah. So this is just kind of what I do. I'm just playing around, a little distracted. I wanted to add, because we've got the farm in there, I wanted to add one more thing. And I think if I could add this would be really cool. But I'm just kind of struggling with the boat. I mean, the water isn't very deep. I know the water isn't very deep in the game either. No, something's up. Something's up. Something's up. That's way too high. Put it back to where it was. It's way too high. Yeah, there we go. So it's slower, but, you know, it maneuvers fast. It is what it is. It is what it is. I like it. So you stop where you're at there, and then kind of hopefully, you stay on the boat. I might have to put another seat. You know, maybe that's the issue. I need to put another seat up here. Like, that's why I was thinking, see how good it handles when you're in the seat, and then how poorly it handles when you're out of the seat. So, yeah. It would be nice to be able to do this kind of while it's thrashing around, but as soon as we release that weight, let's see. Where is it? The lock. Show welds. Show me the welds. There we go. If we make that enabled false, so now it's just thrashing about. Yeah. It's alright because we're not very deep, but I mean, if we were in deep water, you'd flip over. You'd absolutely flip over. So it kind of works. It kind of works, but it doesn't work. You see, it's just kind of, you know. Seems to be a lot better like this. So if that's the case, then that means that we need to get rid of those buttons, and we need to replace it with an interface we can get from the seat. Oh boy. So that's kind of what I, you know, testing, right? That's sort of what I do when I'm testing. We find the model and then make it do what we want it to do. And then we decide, okay, can I put buttons on here? Or what's going to give the best play experience? And if you don't test it, then you don't know. You're not going to know what is going to give you the best play experience. And then, when you don't want the player to have any issues. Okay, so there is already an offset script. So we could put it in there. But what I think we're gonna do is, I wonder if we disable that. If that does anything for us. Because what that does is that offsets the character from where it's naturally on the seat. Not really. Whoa. Yeah, see with the weight. So when you get out to where you get out to, we're probably going to have to anchor the ship. That's what I was thinking. Instead of thrashing around, you'll have to stop with the boat. We'll see. We'll have to see how that works. Okay. So what do we need? We need all the usual stuff, right? We can put it all in the drive seat for this one. Insert object. We need a remote event. We need to insert object. We need a control script. And then we need an interface. So the interface is just going to be a real basic interface. Starter GUI insert part. No. Insert object. Screen interface. Then we want to insert a frame into that. There we go. Doesn't have to be this big. And then either a table or a list. List is actually kind of better, but alright. And then we want to insert a button. Text bouton. This will be unlock crane. Unlock crane. And then what do I want to do? I want to scale the text. It's going to say unlock crane, just like that. And then I don't know what the background color can be. It can be black. Background transparency can be just faded a little bit. And then the text color can be black. There we go. And then this frame here will just invisible it. Just like that. Alright, and then we'll duplicate that button. And this one will be crane left. And then we'll duplicate that button, and this will be crane right. I don't want this space in there. No spaces. Crane right. And then just up and down. Duplicate, winch out. It's easier with the interface as well because we can do button down, button up, and that works with the controller or with the mouse. Okay, winch out, we'll duplicate that. Winch in. Winch in, and then left, right, out, in, and then we'll say unload. Let's see. No, we're gonna we're gonna duplicate that. This is gonna be unload lock, and then we'll say unload basket. All right, and then we'll duplicate that as well, and we're gonna need unload winch in. So unload basket, winch in. And we're going to duplicate that. And we need to go winch out. And out. So that's what I was saying. I would have hoped to have put all these buttons on the ship. And then you can press them and then, you know, they can do their things. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So then what we need to do is we need another button. And that is going to be unload basket. Unload. All right. Okay, now we need a local script. And we also need a object value. We also need more music. Wait, music. There we go. Where are we? I get lost here. All right, we need more music. So then we'll call this boat. All right, and then we need to say local boat equals script dot parent dot boat dot value. Local UI equals script dot parent dot frame. Oh, we want to put in another frame here. Let's go insert object frame, and then we're going to drag this over here, and we're going to put this frame inside this. This frame inside of here. Now, why are we doing that? Well, this is going to be our click to drag frame. This is going to be our click to drag frame. So you're probably wondering, click to drag, how does that even work? Well, we are going to go over that right now in this video. I guess that doesn't really matter. Alright, so we need the code for that. So let's go open from file, and we're going to open my file. We are going to open my file. And we're going to go to here, the loader, into the loader, and then we have to find body 1. There it is. This and this and this. We're going to copy those over. Hey, just like all the other YouTubers are, we're going to copy those over, and then we're going to paste into, and then it works. Ha! No. Okay. So I'll explain how this works. So we need to create a button inside the frame. In this case, I named it click to drag. Okay. Then you're going to need a Boolean value, a true or false value, call it holding. And then you just need some code. And the code says that when you get the player, get the mouse. When you put the mouse, when you click the button, it's going to give you player holding true. Okay. When it's holding true, it's going to allow you to change the frame's position, which is pretty sweet. Now you see I have these offsets here, X and Y offsets. 0, 0 is this upper corner here. So what you want to do is you want to offset where the player clicks inside here. Otherwise, I'll just show you. Otherwise, it's going to interfere with, right? So you see how I'm on this side of the button, and when I click on it, you see how my mouse goes to the other side? Okay. So if you don't change that, you could be down here inside these other buttons, and then it's not going to allow you to stop dragging. You're going to have to always drag. Yeah, that's the easiest way to explain it. So there's the script right there. Easy peasy, a couple lines of code. Check it out. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. So we have that. We have that. We have that. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to, in the local script, we're still writing the controls for the, so we say UI dot, oh, we gotta say dot frame. There we go. And now we just gotta start with the buttons. What's the first button? Unlock crane. Oops, unlock crane. Dot mouse button 1 down. Right, connect function. And we say player variable. Alright. And then we want to say boat. Fire. Oops. Fire server. And then the name of the variable. In this case, it will be unlock crane. See, now I don't even have any buttons on C-R-A-N-E. I don't have any buttons on here for lights, but we'll have to add that as well. Right, so that can either be added here. I'll probably just have one button, spotlights, or just lights, and then the boat will light up. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Just one button, and we'll see. I'll have to test it, right? And then that way the player can use it in the dark and in the daytime. Okay, so now that we got that, that's our first, that unlocks the crane. See, and then we can say mouse button 1 up, but we don't want to, because we don't have a lock crane button. Ooh, that should have been crane left. Ooh. Unload basket. Oh, players are going to be mad. They're like, how come I got to scroll through all the way to the buttons to get to the lock crane button? Just go watch the video. You'll understand why. Lock crane. There we go. And then name lock crane, and it's going to say lock crane. Because otherwise you'll have to hold that button down, and then you'll have to say crane left, crane right while you're holding that button down. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So, UI dot lock crane. Mouse button 1 down. Connect function. Player variable, and then we'll say boat. Fire server, lock crane. Just like that, okay? And then control, where's this? Oh, that's okay, that's inside the ship. And we don't need that one. Okay, so lock crane, like I say, the last button we could add on to here is lights and spotlights. Let's just do that. Let's just do that right now. So lock crane, we're going to duplicate that. And we're going to call this one lights. And we want to say light. Right, we could put a navigation light on here, green and red light, and a light inside the wheelhouse. And whatever, we can be as creative as we want, right? And then we can change the size of these buttons and just make them smaller afterwards. And then we can duplicate this. And it's going to be spotlights. Spots. And then we can say spotlights. Alright, so now we got our spotlights. So now what? I think now we're done. We're done making buttons. Okay, so that's lock and unlock. What's the next button we want to do? Crane left. So UI dot crane left dot mouse button 1 down, connect function, and we need to say player variable vote. Crane left. And then we need to duplicate this one. And we need to say mouse button 1 up. So when you stop pressing it, we're going to go crane left stop. Then we need another one. We need to say UI dot crane right dot mouse button 1 down, connect function, player variable, and we're going to say boat, and then we're going to say fire server, and we're going to say crane right. Alright, and then we want to duplicate that. Mouse button 1 up. Crane right, stop. Now, what we can also do in here is we can say when you hold the button down, you can change, you can say UI dot crane left dot mouse button 1 up. No, UI dot crane left dot, I think it's background color. Background color 3 equals, is it the brick color? No, we need to change background color 3. Let's see. Background, or is it color 3 dot new? I think it's color 3 dot new. Color 3 from RGB? No. Yeah, there we go. And we can make that orange. Let's just try that out. Crane left. See if that works. Yeah, there we go. See? And then when you go mouse button 1 up, we can change that back to black. Back in black. There we go. So I'm just kind of showing while I'm doing this, that is something that I'll be adding eventually to all the interfaces, right? We'll be going through them, and well, I'm just kind of showing this. These are things that you can do while you're doing it. If you want to, I tend to do it afterwards, just kind of, you know. All right, so with crane left, crane right, what's next? Winch out, winch in. All right, so UI dot winch out. Mouse button 1 down, right? Connect function, player variable. We'll say boat. Fire server. And then what's this one? Crane down. And then we'll duplicate this. And then we go back up. And we'll go crane down, stop. And then we need to duplicate these two. But this is going to be, instead of winch out, this is going to be winch in. And instead of crane down, this is going to be crane up. Crane up, just like that. Okay, now what's next? Unload basket lock. Okay, so UI dot basket lock. Dot unload lock. Oh boy. Basket lock. Okay. Dot unload lock. Dot unload lock. Dot mouse button one down. Connect function. All this is going to do is it's going to create a rope. Let's see. Unload hook. So what it's going to do is it's going to create a rope from here to here, and then that way this is going to sit on top of this, and we're just going to like do the illusion of it kind of unloading. So particles are going to come out and it's going to unload into here, right? So I'm not too sure exactly how we're going to do this. This part is going to have to touch a part under the water, and what it'll do is it'll have a script in it that, you know, it'll read a value, and then it'll transfer that value to here, and then when that's here, it'll make contact with another part and it'll transfer the value to here. And then when you get back to shore, you'll be able to transfer that value to another object, and that's where you'll sell it. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. Maybe when you get to shore, it might actually spawn physical like fish or little crabs or something, like we did with agriculture. So you can have 4 or 5 objects, and then you actually have to bring those objects to a sell point. You know, something like that, right? I just think it would be cool. Then you'd have to load them into a bin and whatever, right? So that's kind of where we're going with this. Again, this is just very early concept. I thought agriculture was good, but in my game, Distribution Champions, that's all there is. You're going to have 3 different color bales, and that's it, pretty well. And then the rest will be trailers. You'll have a forklift, and you'll be able to just load crates into your trailers. So there's not too many changes there. But then I thought, you know what? We have the water. Let's see if we can do more with the water and the boats. And like I say, I know fishing is cool. Maybe I'll try with a net that wheels out. But I'm not too sure. I thought this was the simplest way that we can do this, where we can have fun at the same time. So again, it's a very early concept. I'm not too sure how it's going to work, but that's the idea here. That's the idea. All right, so we got unload hook. Now we've got unload basket winch in. So unload winch in. So UI dot unload winch in. Dot mouse button one down, right? We can connect function. And we declare variable. I don't think you need to add this to every one. It's just good to. All right. Boat fire server. What are we doing? Fire server. Basket in. Sure. Then we gotta duplicate this. Basket in stop. So we got up. Alright, and then we'll duplicate these two, because I'm pretty sure that's the next button. winch out, winch out, out, and out stop. Alright, so then unload basket, which is unload, unload, the mouse button one down, right, connect function. And then we'll say boat. Fire server. Unload basket, because we might have another button to get to load into the truck. I'm not sure yet. So, and then we have lock crane, which we already got. Then lights, and then spotlights. All right, and that's all the buttons for now. UI.lights. Dot mouse button one down. Connect function. Player variable. Now this one will probably turn into like a dual function. You press it, and then we'll say else. Blah 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 blah. Let's see, boat. Fire server, lights. And we'll just copy and paste this. For spotlights. Spots. And same with this one here. Spots. Alright, so now in the control script, we need to say local functions equals script parent, where are we here, dot functions, script parent dot functions, and then we need to say functions, functions, on server event, connect function, and then we need to say player variable. Alright, and then we need to say if variable is equal to unlock crane, then do stuff. And that's basically that. So the next thing we need to do is we need to figure out how do we clone this to the player. So we have this offset script. It doesn't do it. All it does is it plays when the player sits. It activates when the person sits in here in the seat. So what we can do is, you can just, I think, is it player added? What is it? Function on child added part. And then it just, whatever it does. As soon as you sit down, I think that's all we need. Let me see. Let's see. So if I duplicate this. Oh, I didn't want to do that. This one here, if I duplicate this. Where? Duplicate. And then enable. And then if I get rid of this. If I can code assist, huh? Wait. Oh. Okay. Let's rename this one. Sitting. Alright. Let's disable that one. Let's enable this one. There we go. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to take this interface. And let's call it boat UI, and we will say, I don't know, script, parent, no, boat UI, clone, parent equals part. I wonder if we can do that. Let's see. No, this would be player. Let's see if we can do this. Player dot player doesn't. Let's see. See if we can do that. I don't know if we can. I don't think it's. I'll have to look at some. I have some code for it. I'll have to look and see. Driver seat dot seat weld. What's this here? Okay, dot seat weld. Workspace dot model dot drive seat dot seat weld. So I need I need to figure something else out. We need a pickup script that activates when child added. No, can we do like on child added on? Let's see. It's gonna give me let's see, player dot on child added script dot parent dot child added connect. But we, instead of doing child added, can we say script? Because that's the weld. It's looking for the weld, right? Let me see if I have a open from file. There's got to be a pickup script on one of these ones here. Let's get some music going again. This would be a long stream. Holy moly. Here, we'll start from here. Yeah, there must be, in the helicopter, I think. Where is it? In the vehicle seat. There we go. That's what we needed. All right. This is what I do. We don't need that, do we? What do we do? Okay, so let's go over this and try and... All right, whatever. I must have already had it open. All right, let's go over what we have. So it gets the child or whatever, then the script, yeah, when it gets added, and then the seat name is the seat weld. So that's what, because you weld yourself to the seat. Okay, I gotcha. And then the name is script.parent.occupant.parent. Ah, okay. Game.players name.name. Interesting. There you go. That's how they do it. So then script.parent dot boat UI, is it? Yes. Dot character dot player GUI. Perfect. Oh, and then the script disables itself. Okay, so let's just forget about that for a minute. Let's see if that works. That's why it helps. It helps to look through things and to develop different things. And figure out how things work, so that way you can, when you're continuing to develop, you have stuff to go back to when you're lost or confused. Okay, why is that not working here? Oh, maybe do I have to tell it to clone? Does not appear to want to clone. Why not? Why do you not want to clone? Let's go back. Let's go back. Why don't you want to clone? Let's go back to where we were. Where were we? We were looking at the helicopter. The vehicle seat. Oh, that's why. That's why. That is why. We don't need that, and we don't need that. That is why. Oh, and then it's going to give me an error. It's going to give me an error here. It's going to say, hey, you're using a different function. Now, I probably don't have to say clone.parent, but I probably should. Bingo bango bongo, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. So now we have the interface. So instead of cloning it, we can just do that. And then it should directly transfer over. But I like cloning it, and that way you can get in and out. And it stays with the vehicle. We just have to test. Oh, it's not drive seat. All right. Well, anyways, we'll just leave it like that. So it'll clone every time. So now what we need to do is we need to say script parent boat UI boat value boat value equals script parent functions. Is it functions or functions? Yeah, functions. I think that's right. So now it shouldn't give us an error when we press unlock crane, because we have that connected through to the control script. So it should give us an error when we press other buttons. Giving me an error here. On fire server. Okay, let's also take a look here at no, it's not this one. It's the clone script that we need. Where is it? The activate. This one. GUI.trailer.value. Lock function. Yeah. Oh, you know why? No. Local. Here we have it in a local. And here we don't. So we should say local UI equals script.parent .boat UI, and then we should say UI.clone, like that. And then UI, there we go. Yeah. And now we're telling the code to commit. There we go, I think that's right. Do it through a local value. It'll still give me the same error. Ooh. What's going on here? Unlock crane. Script.parent.UI. Yeah. Let's make sure it's the right, the values are right. So this is a object value, and this is a object value. This is the things you got to do, right? You got to verify what's going on here. So in the controller, lock function. Okay, but I do. Is it the? See here, I don't have player variable in any of them except for this one here. That still works, so it doesn't matter. Oh, .clone. Am I saying clone.parent? Oh, I see. Like that. And then we say UI.parent equals. That's where I made the mistake. Alright, let's see if that works. Right, you got to go back to the code that you know works. And then you have to compare it to the code that you have that doesn't work. And say, okay, where did I make the mistake? What am I overlooking? Because I have no patience. There we go. Now we didn't get an error. We have an error. We don't get an error now. Perfect. Okay, so now that we don't get an error, we can write the control. So now what do we want to do? So if we say unlock crane, is it swing part? Yep. So script.parent dot swing part dot parent dot swing part dot lock swing part. What is going on here? Dot swing part dot lock dot enabled equals false. Alright, so let's just do that, and then the crane should be able to spin. Oh, maybe not because it's a motor. Alright, so now we're able to unlock it. I don't know why I have the lock and unlock. Oh, because when you're unloading here, maybe that button is kind of redundant, because it should always be locked anyways. That's kind of a redundant button. Whatever. We'll just leave it for now. Ah. Hey, it sounded like a good idea an hour ago. Okay, where are we at in this video? Holy, we're at an hour. Yeah, it sounded like a good idea an hour ago. Okay, so now that we're coding the buttons, let's do the crane left and crane right. So what I want to do is I want to take this here, and let's just go back into here. Yeah, crane left and crane right we'll do next. All right, so if variable is equal to crane left then, and then we also need to crane left stop, right? So crane left stop. I went through my big crane and I realized that I had the latency all wrong in it, and that's why it was all the old stuff I did I had to go through again. Okay, perfect. So crane left. Now we could say we could reference it, but we'll just go script parent dot swing part, is it? Parent dot swing part, and then I just got to figure out, is that the hinge? Yeah, perfect. Dot hinge constraint dot angular velocity equals 0.5. Okay, and then we also want to do is we want to say script dot parent dot swing part dot lock dot enabled equals false, and then we want to wait just for a short amount of time. And then what we want to do is take this, do that, and then we want to wait. And then we want this to go back to true. And this is going to go to 0. Alright, so let's just test that out. I mean, you could test one button at a time. Once I get a couple of buttons and I know, then I just go through, code the rest of them, and then test them all out. But it's good to check just to make sure that you're on the right track. Yeah, there we go. You see there, it goes out. Perfect. So now it's really making the boat wobble. So maybe what we need to do is counter weight. Counterweight the crane. So if we do something like this, it's just going to be like a little bit of Hollywood magic here. And we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. We'll make it can collide false. Good. And we'll make it invisible. And what we'll do is we'll weld it to there. There we go. Now let's try that. Now, because that's all we're trying to do, right, is just maintain that this is still going to have to go down below the water. So we need a way to counter that weight. Hopefully that's it. So if we say crane left, not really. It needs to be equal to the equal. So we could call this crane weight. Okay, that didn't work out. Oh boy, this is what happens when you get a wireless keyboard. And you have a poor computer. Okay, so we could do something like that. Let's see here. Hollywood magic, the magic of Hollywood, right? Ooh, look at that. There we go. There we go. Now we're able to be nice and stable. Then we can lower that down into the water. Oh, this is working out really well. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. Fishing. I might put out another 1 or 2 videos on this today. This is actually coming along really well. I'm having a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. You guys are awesome. and I'll see you all in the next one.